Hi everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you taking your time to see what I'm up to here today. And thank you for that. But what I am up to today is I actually was looking for a color palette for another charcuterie board and potentially another fusion. And while I found a color palette that's decent by making coasters, I don't think it's quite right for what I'm looking for, but it's good for coasters. So that's what I'm doing. I had the one coaster that came out pretty good in this color palette that I'm not 100% in love with, but it's nice. And I'm just decided to go ahead and finish off this making 4. And all of these paints here, with the exception of one, are paints that I'm just trying to use up together in one kind of creation. But I have a lot of paints left over. So if you're new here and like what you see, please subscribe, hit the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials. Thanks a lot. And on my last video, I just thinned down my cell activator that I just made. So I just had to make a little bit of an adjustment to it, and I'll show you the consistency here in a second. This is my, that first one was Artez's Pearl Glacier Blue. This is Amsterdam's Bluish Green. And actually, I think that needs to be thinned down too, because that is getting gloopy. Okay, this is my, it's a combination of things. It's Artez's Pearl Lime Green with TLP Sea Glass and Amsterdam's Pearl Cactus Green. So these paints are tending to be a little on the thick side as well. This is a custom color that I made. Actually, this is not a custom color. This is a color I used on a commission piece tray, and I want to use up the paint. This is Golden's Pearl Titan Green Light. This is Golden's Titan Green Light. This is Pepio's Iridescent Green Yellow. And I just mixed this one up for this color combination. Yeah, I was expecting, I was just expecting a different result with this. I know what I'm looking for, it's just not this. This is not it. And this is my Amsterdam Artez's Chromium Oxide Green with some Golden's Black in it. And I've used this on a lot of, several creations lately. And this also is getting a little bit on the thick side. Cell activator, this is my, I'm really running off the side. This is my American Floetrol cell activator, video 141 if you want to take a look at it. It's 8 minutes long. I show the creation, the ingredients, and all that you need to know about this. Always mix it before you apply it. That's the white, the black. Here we go. So normally I talk through the blowout here, but I'm going to talk instead about what makes something look appealing. And you have to first start off with your recipe. In this case, I'm using the Bloom recipe, and I do have a video on it, video 140, and how I mix it and everything. But I also have it listed in the description what I'm currently using here. But you have to have a recipe that works, and then all the components, the pillow, the pouring medium, and the cell activator, they are all working together in the right consistencies. The next huge component are colors. You have to have colors that work together and that are appealing to the eye. So I don't know if you saw that during the blow, because as I was blowing in one direction, it didn't want to flow that way. So I stopped and I redirected my blow in a different direction that I thought it was going to go in. These are all things you need to think about while you're blowing. And I have there's at least 20 things that go through my head as I am in the middle of the blow. And that's why I do take time to tell you guys in my videos about the blow, but I'm just telling you about the basic stuff. The blowout is a huge part of this process and the foundation of what you're going to create in the end. Every one of these pours is different, and I've said that before. I believe that each pour is a first because it all depends on what's going on with the paints. You may have put down a little more of the blue this time than the green. Maybe the blue is a little thicker and it's not responding as well as the green. So now that you've put down more, you're going to have a different result in the way the blow is going. There's all these things I think about as I'm going through the blow that I'm going to be teaching at the Fluid Art Boutique in Washington, D.C., August 6th to the 8th. And if you want to join me, I will tell you all about making basic blooms and how I apply this technique to my functional art. You can pick my brain for that too. So, yeah. If you want to join me, we're going to have a lot of fun. I haven't been to DC in a long time, so I look forward to this. A little bit nervous, but I still look forward to it. Another huge component is the process and how you let your composition develop. And typically I go very slowly and patiently. Let's give it another spin. Yeah, there are so many things. There's the way you hold your mouth. I'm going to talk about that during the DC. There's a whole thing. I had an epiphany about 1.5 years ago while I was on a walk where I realized about my lips. And I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm going to talk about all these subtle things at the Fluid Art Boutique. I did cover it in one of my videos, but I'm going to save it for later. I'm going to save it like a poker player. Because I share a lot with all you guys. And I have a lot of stuff more I can share. And most of what well, I can't say most. A lot of what I know is just from my own experience, the trial and error, the playing around it. And I am not a artist by trade. Like, I did not go to school for art. I went to West Point, for crying out loud. I was learning how to shoot guns. I was even learning how to drive in tanks. I drove a tank. Learned how to jump out of airplanes. I mean, that's what I was learning when people were going to art school. So after I stopped working, I discovered fluid art completely by accident. Another aspect of creating really pretty pieces is layering, and how you layer and the sequence that you layer in. And you have to find out what works for you on that. So what I did is, I would just watch people. And then what I was doing, my big mistake at first was I was trying to do too much at once. I would go from one technique to another to another. If I have any advice for anybody out there, is stay with one thing for a little while. Get good at something. Keep the same paints. I was changing recipe, going from bloom that's thick to extremely thin paints with the Cloud Pro mix. So, I mean, I was all over the map. This one is my best so far. You know what the difference is? I thinned down my cell activator. I said in my last video, I'll leave that my cell activator was too thick. That's where I was going to show you my consistency. Yeah, here's the consistency. I had just mixed this up. There we go. And look at that bounce back on there. Yeah, so it was too thick. Yeah, This is how it should be. The thinner. I probably can go even thinner. I think I'm going to give it another spritz of water. Alrighty, here we go. Here she is. I really like this one. This is my favorite so far. So everyone, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video and all of the little tidbits of information I provided to include what makes something look really appealing. And upcoming here, I have the final resin results of the coasters with the charcuterie board that it matches. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to have a link to my other coasters playlist so you can see other color combinations and other results. If you're new here, I ask that you please consider subscribing, hitting the bell and all. You'll get all my latest art tutorials with all the tips that I provide in most of my videos. And I would love to hear what you guys think by leaving a comment. A thumbs up is also appreciated. I always appreciate everybody's feedback, and I respond to everybody. So that's all I have for now. Everybody take care. Till next time.